Minecraft is full of mobs, however there are many that still need to be added, which is why I've downloaded some mods and data packs to see if we need more mobs in the game or if it becomes too overwhelming. And we'll start with the Wilder Wild mod, which aims to add more features for the nature of Minecraft. Obviously I've covered this mod a bit in the past. It adds loads of new tree variants, like we've got autumnal coloured leaves, hollow logs, new wood variants, that sort of thing. But obviously today we're covering the mobs, starting with the butterfly, which it's a very small mob actually. As you can see, the hitbox is tiny. Don't believe they drop anything when killed, but it's just a nice ambient mob to find in the game. And I believe this mod also, adds a butterfly in a bottle, which I assume is in survival, and that's how you actually spawn it in. So if we grab out a glass bottle, we can go up to them. And we actually get an advancement called clipped wings. And we get the butterfly in a bottle, and it looks like we get different variants of the butterfly as well. That's quite interesting. But these are just ambient mobs which fly around your world. They don't really add any purpose, but do I think butterfly should be added? Honestly, I think these would be really cool to find in like the sunflower plains or flower forest biome, just for more ambience. I could see like a large amount of these becoming quite annoying or laggy, but like if they're just floating around, they're not like really bouncing into you, they're not like disturbing your building. I think it'd be just quite a nice ambient feature. Maybe they do something a bit like the firefly bush where it's particles rather than an actual mob. It might be better, although they would be quite big particles, although I think it would work. Speaking about fireflies, it's only right we move on to the next mob inside of Wilder Wilds, which is the firefly. As you can see, these are just small particles, and this was sort of the original intention of fireflies to be added, rather than us getting the firefly bush, which if you place in like a dark area, it should begin to spawn firefly particles. Although I can't really see many here, but this mod also adds them in as a mob. Do we need firefly mobs? No, we've got the firefly bush now. I think it's fine without the fireflies. Although I will have one complaint with the firefly bush. If you look at them all together, they're perfectly in sync with the animations, which is not good. Like, they should all be variated. I don't know how easy it is to do that, or like if there's a texture pack which randomizes like the order of it, but that's what I'd like to see. But do we need these actual firefly mobs? Probably not. They're just not needed in current Minecraft, as we have the firefly bushes now. Next we have a mob vote loser, the crab, which I guess is once again just an ambient mob. When it was a part of the mob vote, it was intended to spawn in mangrove swamps and drop a crab claw, which actually I've got a number of mods on, Wilder Wild and Friends and Foes, which we'll cover later. But Wilder Wild adds the crab claw as a food rather than as a tool for building. We also get a crab bucket, which I assume is how you pick it up, which is quite cool actually. And do we need crabs? Honestly, maybe. I feel like they will be added eventually in the future, as they were a part of a mob vote. As we know, the copper golem was recently added to Minecraft, and that was a mob vote loser. So I could see crabs being added in the near future, or maybe not near future, but they could definitely be a feature added in a later Minecraft update. Maybe we get like a mangrove swamp update, or if we get a beach update or something like that, I could definitely see the crab getting added, as well as crab claws. Although for building, I don't know how useful a crab claw would actually be. If you're enjoying today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. Next up, Wilder Wilds adds another mob into the game, the jellyfish, which is an ocean exclusive mob. And this guy actually looks so cool. I haven't properly looked at this one yet. That looks so cool. Do they drop anything on death? Oh, they do. Pink nematocosite or something, I don't know. Oh, we can place it. That's quite interesting actually. Oh, it can be placed on walls. Don't really know what it does, but obviously you can put the jellyfish in a bucket as well. That's quite cool. But these are just once again, ambient mobs. They do have some other purpose, I guess. What was this stuff? Yeah, there's loads of different colours. So I assume that means we get loads of different colours of jellyfish as well. But should jellyfish be added? Yeah, I think this would be a nice touch to the oceans. Obviously in the next Minecraft game drop, we're getting the Nautilus and Zombie Nautilus. So it'd be cool to have jellyfish maybe floating around. I don't know, if I go into survival, do they sting? Oh, but they do poison you. But it's quite realistic to be fair. I think that'd be quite a cool mob, although the poison's a bit annoying, especially because we already have the pufferfish in the oceans. Next up, we've got one of my favourite mobs that needs to be added, the Moo Bloom, which with a Wild and Wild mod actually comes in loads of different variants. As you can see, we've got a poppy variant, a tulip variant, an azure bluet variant, orange tulip, pink tulip variant, dandelion variant, lily of the valley variant, loads of different variants. We've got the allium variant, the cornflower variant. Should the Moo Bloom be added? 100%. And there's actually another mod, Friends and Foes, which we'll cover in a bit, which adds another version of the Moo Bloom, so we can talk more about that then. Now time for another mob vote loser, or technically this one was a biome vote loser instead. We've got the ostrich. Now, this guy looks quite terrifying. I'm not really a fan of ostriches, but in this mod you can tame them, which I don't know if Minecraft added the ostrich, you'd be able to tame them, as I don't think you can ride ostriches in real life. but it would be a cool thing to ride, especially in the Mountain Mayhem update. So if we grab out a saddle, we can obviously equip our ostrich. That's got a really cool saddle texture on it. And wow, he runs quite fast. And okay, when you try and jump or sprint with him, he just dips his head in the ground. Maybe he can dig things up, but yeah, this guy's quite good. Really fast, actually. And I assume this would be found in the savannah biome. That's where the actual mob vote or biome vote took place, adding the baobab trees, termites, and ostrich. Unfortunately, this lost in places of the fox and sweet berries and campfires and things, but the ostrich would be a cool feature, actually. I feel like it would definitely enhance the savannah, as well as just adding another mounted mob if it was added this way, which, if it was added in vanilla Minecraft, I don't really see it being rideable. Maybe just another ambient mob. But honestly, that's not a bad thing. I feel like a big complaint about Minecraft mobs, like the polar bear or the bat, is they don't add anything. But I don't think every mob in Minecraft should add something. Lots of them should be for ambience. That's why I'd like to see something like the butterfly in the game, as it doesn't do anything. It's not like a new feature, or doesn't offer you new blocks or anything. It's just an ambient mob, which I think Minecraft desperately needs more of. Now, does Minecraft need penguins? Obviously, this was once again another mob vote loser, and these guys are so loud. And they don't really do anything. They drop feathers, I guess. They slide around on their bellies. With mob vote, I believe they spawned in the Stony Shores biome. And obviously, they can swim in water. I believe their bonus actually was, if we grab out a boat, spawn a penguin, they speed up the boat, which is quite a good bonus, to be fair. It would make traveling across the oceans more exciting. So, should penguins be added? I'd like to see penguins in the game, actually. It's a shame they lost to the armadillo. Although I voted for the armadillo. I think the armadillo was slightly better, as we got wolf armor, and then obviously that turned into wolf variants, but the penguin would definitely be a cool mob still to see. And the Wilder Wild mod also adds in the Scorched, which I guess is some sort of like desert spider. What does it do if I attack here? Oh, it sets me on fire, brilliant. But I don't think this really does anything. Should like a scorching be added? I feel like spiders do need more mob variants. We've got desert variants of the zombie, and now we're getting the parched in the next update for the skeleton variant. So I feel like spiders could get a few more variants, like a frozen spider or this scorched spider for the desert and mesa biomes. So overall, for the Wilder Wild mod, I'd love to see most of these mobs added. I don't really care about the firefly though, to be honest, as we've got the firefly bush now as a particle. But honestly, all these others would be really fun additions into Minecraft. Now, I touched on this mod earlier, but it's time to look at the Friends of Foes mod, which just adds in all the mob vote losers, basically. So first we got the wildfire, which is a giant blaze, and I believe you have to kill it by breaking all its shields, which is quite annoying to do, even though I've got max strength. And what does it drop? Wildfire crown fragments, as I believe it gives you a new helmet, right? Yeah, the wildfire crown. Do we need the wildfire in the game? It would be a fun sort of mini-boss, but Minecraft has stated in the past they won't be adding the 2017 mob vote losers, which means we won't be getting the wildfire, most likely in the game. Now, the crab, this is a bit more realistic looking towards the mob vote loser. Did not realize it had a baby variant as well. Where is it? That guy is so small. Now, as I've already mentioned, I think the crab should be added to the game, and this mod actually adds in another type of crab claw, although I don't really know what this one does, to be honest. It doesn't seem to extend block reach at all, which that's what the crab was intended to do for the mob vote. It made it so you could place blocks from further away. It did not make it so you could reach further away and do more damage in PvP. I feel like that's a big misconception with the crab. Now, should the glare be added? We have seen another mob vote loser obviously added. We saw the copper golem recently. Now, should a glare be added? I don't know, to be honest, as its original intention was to tell you where the dark spots are in Minecraft, but it's quite easy now because light level 0 means mobs can spawn, light level 1 means they can't. So basically, if it says somewhere pitch black, you can place a torch and mobs don't spawn. So for the current functionality of a glare, we don't really need it. Interesting that it drops glow berries as well. However, if the glare was to have a different use, similar to how the copper golem no longer presses buttons but it sorts chests, maybe I could see it being added, although to be honest, this is one of the mobs I don't really care if we see or don't see added into Minecraft. Now, the Iceologer should 100% be added into the game. This would make exploring mountains way more interesting, as we'd have sort of a mini-boss to fight, and we need more Illager variants in Minecraft in general. Now, let's take a look at another Illager variant, the Illusioner, which actually is in base vanilla Minecraft. It's a bit like the Giant, where it hasn't been implemented into survival yet. Obviously, the zombie horse is finally being added. However, should the Illusioner be added? Well, it's in the base game, so yes, I'd love to see the Illusioner added. Does it need to drop like a totem like this mod suggests? No, I don't think so. I think it would be a fun mini-boss, maybe spawning in raids instead of the Evoker, as I hate getting loads of totems of dying from raids. I think that makes raids really easy, but I'd love to see the Illusioner added. Now, we've already touched on the Moo Bloom over there. However, Friend of Foes also adds its own version of the Moo Bloom. This one looks more realistic towards the Moo Blooms shown off and the Moo Blooms in Minecraft Earth and things. And should these guys be added? Yes, oh, that's the back of my head. Yes, I've already previously mentioned, but I'd love to see moo blooms in the game, especially because it comes with a new flower variant as well. If we share it, we get ourselves the Buttercup, which would be a great extra building flower to be added. And I feel like the flower forest really needs its own unique mob, and I think the moo bloom fits perfectly for that. Now, Friend and Foes also adds 2 other mob vote losers. First, the Tough Golem, which literally just holds items as a display sort of shelf thing, and should this guy be added? I wouldn't mind too much if it was, although it's a bit like a walking item frame, so maybe not. This is probably one of the mob vote losers I'm least interested to seeing added into Minecraft. I feel like, though, because we got the Copper Golem, we may see the Tough Golem in a future game drop, although the Copper Golem was to do with the Copper Age. I don't think we're getting a Tough Age update anytime soon. Now for Rascal, should this guy be added? Once again, I don't think so, because we've now got wandering traders that trade you things like invisibility potions and pickaxes, and this guy, like finding him underground and like having to find him multiple times to be able to get rare things, I don't think it's that good of a feature, unless it adds like something unique, like its own armor trim or its unique enchantment or something. Otherwise, I don't think it will be too good in Minecraft. Now, setting it to nighttime, it's time to take a look at the next mod, Variants and Ventures, which adds a few undead variants into the game. First of all, we've got the Gelid, which is a frozen version of a zombie, which would be a good mob to see added into the game. We've already got the Strays, so we now need a snowy zombie variant. Similar to how we've got the desert variant of the zombie and skeleton in vanilla Minecraft now. Next is the Merc, which, oh, it's an underwater skeleton. Once again, that would be quite cool. It makes sense, we've got the Drowned, so we need an underwater skeleton variant. Maybe these guys could spawn on the Nautilus as well, although I don't like the idea of them having bows too much. Maybe it would be too overpowered a trident, so maybe they'd have to have like a special tipped arrow that flies normally underwater or something. But these guys would be quite cool, and they do come in different color variants as well. That's cool. Maybe also these guys could drop coral, so there's like a renewable source of coral in the game. I think that would be a quite nice feature. Next up, we've got the Thicket, which is, yeah, just a zombie or swampy sort of zombie variant. And, oh, it poisons you. I'd like to see this mob added. I really like the look of its design as well. I feel like once again, we've got the Bogged. That's a swamp skeleton. We need a swamp zombie. I think for just consistency, it makes sense. So like a poison zombie would be quite cool. Although, I don't think it should be as similar looking to a zombie. Maybe it should have its own unique texture. Next, we've got the Verdant, which is the skeleton version in the jungle. So the Thicket is intended for the jungle, I guess. I feel like, yeah, the jungle could do with some more unique mobs, as right now, it's just all the vanilla ones. And then again, traveling through the jungle at night is already difficult. So maybe these guys would make it a little bit too difficult. However, I feel like we need to see more zombie and skeleton variants added into Minecraft. Next up, we've got a resource pack called Bray's Barnyard Overhaul, which is a resource pack which just adds more mob variants into the game. So to actually use this resource pack, you will need the Entity Model Features mod and the Entity Texture Features mod. But this resource pack just focuses on adding a few more mob variants into the game. Obviously, we've got the regular llama, but with this resource pack, if we can spawn one in, you'll see that we actually get a giraffe variant as well. Now, should the llama have a variant of a giraffe? No, but I would like to see a giraffe added. I think that'd be quite cool. Although I really like this design. I think, yeah, it'd be good to have something similar to this. Or maybe just more llama patterns in general. I do just think we need more mob variants. Like, we've got 4 variants of a llama. I think maybe we get a few more, like a black one. Maybe like a spotted one as well or something. I think llamas are a mob that need more variants. And that's totally not biased or anything. Now, in Minecraft, chickens have 3 variants. The temperate, the cold, and the warm. However, this resource pack changes the model of a chicken, first of all, to have like this fluffy tail. And it also adds some more variants into the game, which I believe it adds a duck in the swamp. So as you can see, I'm now in a swamp biome and we spawn chickens in. And yeah, we get a different variant of a chicken. Now, do we need more chicken, pig, cow variants? Honestly, we've got the warm, we've got the cold, and we've got the temperate ones. So probably not. Although it would be cool to have some more unique designs, as we'll get onto it in a minute. But I'd like to see a duck, mainly. A duck is one of the mobs I'd like to see most. I recently discovered a data pack called Cliff Under a Tree, which adds loads of brand new biomes into vanilla Minecraft. However, it comes with an add-on called Butterbee, which adds loads of new mob variants into the game. And it does so in a very vanilla way. As you can see, we're in a birch forest, or a makeshift birch forest, I guess. And it has its own pig variants in it, which I think is quite cool. And if we get the cow, this data pack will just add in unique variants for loads of different biomes. For example, we've got this different type of cow inside of a birch forest. I don't know if the swamps add anything unique, do they? Yeah, we get like these swamp cows and pigs. These would be really cool to see in the game. And I'm on the data packs mod page right now. As you can see, Butterbee, Cliff Tree mob variants. And we can take a look at a few and see if they should be added. These frosty chickens. Honestly, we've got the cold ones, but once again, these textures just look so good. I'd like to see them in the game. We've got these sort of snowy cows. I think these would be cool. These would be really nice designs, actually. Although, we've already got a cold cow variant. Bog pig. I think just for saying bog pig, that's quite a fun thing. I'd like to see that, maybe. Roof chicken, I'm honestly less interested in, but it would also be cool. I think dark oak forests are something that are really lacking in unique things. I guess it's got a woodland mansion, but that's pretty much it. Shaggy wolves, I think a few more wolf variants would be nice in the game. And this one's in the shrubland biome, which is like sort of warmer climate. I think that'd be cool. Mesa chicken, we've already got the warm chicken in the mesa, but once again, I think more biomes should have unique mob variants. Like, the mesa should have its own chicken, but then the savannah should have a different chicken. I think that would be cool. For Maya pig, I feel like we only need one sort of swampy pig variant, and if that was to be added, I feel like it would be the muddy pig. Chalky cow, I love this design so much. I'd love sort of a white and black cow in Minecraft, so that's an immediate yes. Pine chicken, that would be quite cool in the tiger biomes, although we've already got the sort of cold one for the tiger biomes, so I don't know if it would be added. Tropical chicken, yes. I think we need more mob variants in the jungle, as previously mentioned with like the thicket zombie and things, so I feel like a chicken variant would be fun. Damp cow, I don't know if we need cow variants for the jungle. I don't think it makes too much sense. Bush cow, once again, not too excited about. The toadstool, I think we need another frog variant, and a toadstool is just an amazing pun, and it should spawn in the Mushroom Island, so that would be an immediate yes. Soot cow, once again, dark oak forest needs something more unique. Dry pig, this looks very similar to the warm pig, so probably not. Marsh chicken, I feel like the swamp could get its own chicken variant. I feel like the swamp offers a unique enough experience in Minecraft to have different mob variants from just the temperate biomes. But taking a look at some of the other mob variants, field pig, yeah, I think in the temperate biomes, I think we need more actual mob variants. Maybe change it a bit so these ones could only spawn in the forest biomes, whereas the temperate pigs in default Minecraft, these pink ones, could spawn only in the plains. That way we have a reason to explore still, if you want to collect all these variants. Grove pig, these are sort of like a paler pink. That would be cool, actually, and they spawn alongside the temperate pig within this data pack. By the way, if you'd like to see me make a whole video on this data pack in the future, I definitely could do so let me know in the comments. And then that was all the mobs added. That's a cool banner image though, so we'll take another look at that. Loads of different mob variants, which, honestly, cow, pigs, and chickens, we've got 3 variants of each in Minecraft, but I feel like we could definitely do with some more. But there you go. Do you think we should add some more mob variants into Minecraft? I honestly think yes. Should we add some regular mobs into the game? Also, yes. We're getting quite a few in the next game drop, to be fair. We're getting the camel husk as a variant, parched as somewhat of a variant, and then the nautilus and zombie nautilus. So I feel like we need some more unique mobs, like the crab or jellyfish or something like that. But I'd also love to see more mob variants consistently getting added. For example, if there's an overhaul to various biomes, like the swamp or the flower forest or something like that, maybe we could get the moo bloom or swamp pigs or something like that. I think that's the best way to do it. And if you agree, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe and leave a like.